But how many of you have covered your GS and come here? You have completed GS. How many of you are doing your GS classes? Okay. And how many of you plan to do GS classes after philosophy? So all of you, three zones or people, three types of people, you will have to schedule, you will have to make your plan differently. People who have done GS, they cannot have the same study plan. Why I am talking about study plan here? Philosophy optional है, मैं philosophy से start कर सकती हूँ. But I do not want my students to be unsuccessful. If I only teach you and give you just the lecture of philosophy, when do you write philosophy? Where do you write? In which stage of exam? Mains. Before mains is prelims. This means to write philosophy, you must clear prelims. If I teach you and you do not write, आपका पता नहीं, मुझे बहुत दुख होता है. I do not want my students to be unsuccessful. I want them to be, मुझसे पढ़े तो at least get successful, because it's my name also that gets associated. Wherever you go, you want it or not, someone or the other will say, ये तनु मैम का student है या रह चुका है. Not audible? थोड़ा सा ऑडिबल को वॉल्यूम को तेज कर दो. वॉइस स्ट्रकिंग, इट्स फाइन. ओके, नाउ इट्स फाइन. पीपल एट द बैक, आई एम ऑडिबल? बेटे क्या पटाओ. अब बताओ, अब ठीक है? वो देखा, वो स्विच ऑन नहीं किया था. एक बार एक, अच्छा तुम्हें जोक नहीं बताओ, एक बार एक मशीन खरीदी एक गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन ने, नाम रहने देते हैं. उन्होंने बहुत चलाई, उन्होंने कहा फॉल्टी मशीन आ गई. उन्होंने इंजीनियर्स बुला लिए बाहर से, वो भी ढूंढ रहे हैं यार सब कुछ तो ठीक लग रहा है, ये चल क्यों नहीं रही है. फिर एक मैकेनिक बुलाया, वो आया, आते ही उसने सिर्फ स्विच ऑन कर दिया. ओके फाइन. तो यूपीएससी एग्जामिनेशन में अगर आप यहाँ पर आए हैं, इफ यू आर अटेम्प्टिंग यूपीएससी, गिव दिस अटेम्प्ट टू विन. डोंट गिव दिस अटेम्प्ट जस्ट टू राइल अवे योर टाइम. बहुत टाइम है, चलो यूपीएससी प्रिपेयर कर लेते हैं. नहीं, आए हो तो सिलेक्शन लेके जाना. एंड एनीवन हु इज अनसर्टेन नाउ, अनसर्टेन मीन्स हु फील्स नहीं कर पाएंगे, मेहनत नहीं होगी या जो भी चीज, राइट नाउ गो बैक. सिंपल. यूपीएससी का एग्जाम है, मेहनत लगेगी, सिंपल. और अगर डर लग रहा है या कुछ भी है, गो नाउ, बिकॉज देयर इज अ थ्योरी ऑफ एस्केलेशन ऑफ स्टेक्स. व्हाट इज एस्केलेशन ऑफ स्टेक्स? इफ यू आर, आपके 10 गैम्बलिंग करी किसी ने? नहीं करी, अच्छी बात है. करी तो नहीं है ना? हाँ, करना मत. आपके 100 रुपये लगे, आप एक बार हार गए, अब आपको लगा 100 रुपये चले गए, अब मुझे वापस चाहिए. तो आपने फिर 100 रुपये लगाए, फिर 100 रुपये लगाए, फिर जब 400 रुपये हो गए, अरे बस अब मेरे पास खुद के पास एक 100 रुपये बचे हैं, अब वो भी लगा देते हैं जब इतने लग ही गए हैं तो, है ना? दिस इज नोन एज एस्केलेशन ऑफ स्टेक्स. द मोर स्टेक्स यू पुट इन, द मोर डिफिकल्ट इट बिकम्स टू गो आउट. इसीलिए जब आप मेहनत कर रहे हो, फुल डिटर्मिनेशन के साथ करो, फुल इस अंडरस्टैंडिंग के साथ करो कि अब करना है. टाइम वेस्ट मत करना, because the time you are in youth, very constructive time, यही टाइम ये डिफाइन करेगा कि आगे आप जाके आपको क्या इज्जत मिलेगी, क्या होगा, क्या एवरीथिंग, सब कुछ यही टाइम डिसाइड करेगा, यही 6-7 साल। 6-7 साल बाद तो क्या होगा, फिक्स हो जाएगा कि तुम्हें जब दिवाली मेले पे बुलाया जाएगा तो आगे बिठाएंगे, बीच में बिठाएंगे, पीछे बिठाएंगे, या फीता काटने के लिए स्टेज पे बुलाएंगे। सिंपल। ये भी डिसाइड हो जाएगा आपके बच्चे किस स्कूल में पढ़ेंगे, किस कंपनी में रहेंगे, क्या उनके लिए सारी चीज़ें अवेलेबल रहेंगी। आपके पेरेंट्स को आपके रिलेटिव्स किस नज़र से देखेंगे, ये भी डिसाइड हो जाएगा। आपके पेरेंट्स आए कहीं पे किसी फैमिली फंक्शन में तो बाकी लोग खड़े होके कह रहे हैं अरे भाई साहब प्लीज बैठिए, या फिर अच्छा आ गए। ऑफ कोर्स उनका खुद का भी वो है, बट whatever is being contributed by you, so that will get decided. So in this sense, if you decide to become my student, then there is an oath taking. जिसको जाना हो वो अभी जा सकता है, no problem. लेकिन oath taking is that I will not back off from hard work. I will write answers whenever asked by the class, mentors. I will submit them. I will improve and I will clear my prelims with utmost hard work. ठीक है, लो शपथ लो। अरे सच में दिला रही हूँ भाई, तुम्हें मजाक लग रहा है? सच में, हाँ हाँ हाथ आगे करो 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 करो। है तुमने ले ली, कोई बात नहीं दोबारा ले लो यार, शपथ में क्या बुराई है, शपथ में क्या बुराई है। शपथ, मैं अपना नाम लो, ये शपथ लेता हूँ, लेती हूँ, अरे लेती हूँ तो बोलो, जो लड़कियां लेता हूँ तो क्यों बोल रही हैं, लेती हूँ कि मैं पूरी शिद्दत और मेहनत के साथ इस यूपीएससी के एग्जाम को क्लियर करूंगा, करूंगी। फिलॉसफी की क्लास में जब भी आंसर्स लिखने को बोले जाएंगे, बिना मुंह चिढ़ाए, ना नुकर करे, आलस्य करे, आंसर्स लिखेंगे। प्रीलिम्स के लिए बहुत अच्छे से स्मार्ट वर्क करेंगे, प्रीलिम्स पास करेंगे, फिलॉसफी में 300+ लेकर आएंगे। मैं ये मानती हूँ ईश्वर, टीचर, पेरेंट्स, बाकी सब लोग साधन हैं, लेकिन मेहनत मुझे ही करनी है, क्योंकि सफलता बाकी सबकी भी रहेगी, सबसे ज्यादा मेरी रहेगी। ये मैं शपथ लेता हूं। एंड फॉर इंग्लिश पीपल who do not understand Hindi, I take this oath that I will clear this prelims with utmost honesty, right answers always whenever asked in my philosophy class, and will get 300+ in philosophy. I remember and I understand that parents, teachers, God, all are just mere means to my success. Therefore, ultimate hard work has to be done by me and me alone, because the success will be mine. Fine? चलो अब स्टार्ट करते हैं। अब हो गई शपथ, है ना। फिलॉसफी बेसिक्स मेरी एक जिम्मेदारी है आपको ये बताना कि फिलॉसफी एज एन ऑप्शनल के अंदर 500 मार्क्स का एग्जाम होता है। देयर इज एन एग्जाम ऑफ 500 मार्क्स, 250, 250, पेपर 1 and paper 2. This paper 1 means Western philosophy and Indian philosophy. Two major philosophies. Then paper 2 is socio-political philosophy and philosophy of religion. Even though the marks are equal, the quantum of syllabus and the quantum of hard work that is required is very different. Major syllabus, paper 1. Because paper 1 comes with heavy load of thinkers and philosophers. They are very interesting. Very, very interesting. Actually, once you read paper 1, you completely engross yourself in paper 1 itself. You feel like reading Plato पढ़ लिया, Aristotle पढ़ लिया, Descartes पढ़ लिया, Sankhya, Vedant, Jainism, Buddhism. When you read all this philosophy, you become so enriched in knowledge that then paper 2 feels like very easy. इसमें तो कुछ पढ़ने का था ही नहीं. There was nothing that we had to study in paper 2. It feels like that. But marks are equal, remember that. 70% of our course timing here. Then 25 to 30% here, and rest of the time, of course, writing and all of these things will be taken care of. Understood? Now this paper 2 we will do later on. We will start with Western philosophy. Our philosophy course starts with Western philosophy now, and after this we will give you a break. How many of you people are giving prelims this year? After that we will give you a break so that you can give your prelims, and we will continue after prelims immediately with the continuation of our philosophy course. You all know that? Okay. Let us start. First is, what is philosophy? मत पढ़ो कुछ नहीं, ऐसे मैं ऐसे first day दिखाती हूँ बस. I just take this PPT for the first day because people like to read things. What is philosophy according to you? Ideas, point of view. So the complete background of a thing. Okay. What else? Different points of thoughts, perspectives. What else? Interpretations. Depth. Yes. Spiritual. Art of life. Okay. Knowledge. Fine. The basic definition says love of knowledge. Philosophy means love of knowledge. Philosophy is a Western word, whereas the Indian word is darshan. Darshan is much broader in its context than philosophy. But today we will try to understand what is philosophy. Abhi ke liye, for now. So philosophy is something that will define all your choices, all your thoughts, and all your understanding about this world. How many of you believe that there is a God? Okay, it's okay, it's okay. How many of you believe there is no God? No one? This batch is... Huh? No God? Okay, okay. So now understand, the choices you will make will be defined by this particular belief. If I give you the power of a very, this is a psychological thing. If I give you the power of invisibility, you can become invisible at your choice. What will you do? No, you can come back to your original form if you want. Fine. So, I know. How many of you will go to bank? Okay. Many of you. Some are saying, some are not saying. Yes, people will try to misuse their power. Misuse, or rather we can say they will try to do something which might not be legal or ethical in the first place. This means the power of invisibility brings with it a kind of alternative to be unethical and to be illegal. But now people who believe in God, even if they are invisible, is God seeing you? Yes? So should you do something wrong? No? भूल गए क्या? Whenever you do पाप, कढ़ाई में तला जाता है in hell. In hell, you are fried in the written in wherever it is written, but it is written. Haven't your parents told you? घर वालों ने नहीं बताया कि पाप करोगे तो कढ़ाई में तले जाएगा. So people who believe in God, even if they are invisible, they will have that guilt feeling that even if nobody is watching me, God is watching me. And people who are atheistic, will they be worried about or will they be guilty? No? Okay. Now, it depends on, of course, person to person it will depend, but majorly. Now, how many of you believe that the world was formed by Big Bang? I don't like these hands. This is no opinion. Opinion is this. World is formed by Big Bang. How many of you think that God has created this world? तुमने दोनों में हाथ खड़ा कर दिया? Why? अच्छा, made by Big Bang but run by God. Okay. So if the world is made by God, then this world must be respected. All the things in this world has been made by God. This table, me, the other fellow, people of other religion, other caste, made by God only, na? Should you disrespect or destroy anything made by God? No. Your worldview. But if the world is made up by Big Bang, no purpose, then will you feel guilty if you destroy this table? You understand? Are you able to understand what I am trying to say? That all your choices in life will be depending on your worldview. If you feel you are just the collection of matter, cells, genetic material, what are you? You are genes, right? If you are just genes, then do you try to find some purpose in your life? Just like many species. So there are hundreds and lakhs of ants that come up and they go. New ants come up, they go. Deer come up, frogs come up, dogs come up, cats come up. All the animals come up in the jungle. They fight amongst each other, and after some time, they are gone. New offsprings come and they are going to start fighting among themselves. So is human something like that species? No? Kuch different hai? What is that is different? Thinking process. Shivam is saying, I don't believe in the theory of hell and heaven. Okay, then you are more close to materialistic or atheistic. Luca Lapu, God created this world through Big Bang. You believe in God. Cognitive ability is different. That rationality. And this makes us different. But now if rationality makes us different, what about soul? If you are a DNA, then where is soul? they are fine, they are comfortable, they don't have any problem. The other dimension of mind, okay, fine. So understand like this, all of us have a certain view, definitely, sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. And with philosophy, we will read the views of some great minds. We will read how Plato thought the world is arranged, what it is made up of. Then a person will come, Aristotle. He will say, no, no, no. Whatever you are saying lacks something. There is some problem. World is made up of this, and this is how the things are arranged. Then a person will come, Descartes. He will say, पहले वालों ने जो कहा, what I am telling you is the correct version of worldview. Then Spinoza, the whole sequence will go on till the modern times. It will go on. This means philosophy as an optional is nothing but meeting with the great minds of history and looking at their worldview, nothing more than that. So basically it's a meeting with 30-34 people. 30-34 people you will meet, you will sit, have a coffee with, chat with, you will try to understand their views, how they see their views, but you don't have to become one. Till the time you are talking, till the time you are reading, till the time we will read Plato, you will all be Plato. And then the moment we switch to Aristotle, you will become Aristotle. Simple. And if you just that when you talk to your cousins, you know what they will say, what they will not say. If you really understand these philosophers, you will also know what they will say, what they will not say. You will know them like people. Ma'am, we shouldn't fear God, though the concept of hell and heaven, rather we should love God as a friend. This is one way of. Is there a God? Some people say yes, some people say maybe, some people say pata nahi, I don't know, some people say no. Is anyone right or wrong? No. Neither is right, neither is wrong. They are different views. We will know the arguments, on what basis some people are accepting God, on what basis some people are rejecting God, on what basis people are saying maybe. What exact arguments are there? We will know. You will be able to discuss these things, God, religion, this, that, with your parents, or rather anybody else. Any Panditji or any religious leader comes to your home. After you did philosophy, they will try not to come to your home, because you will know more than them. Yes. So, another thing, you will not try to impose your philosophy on anybody else. I'll tell you what happens when we read philosophy. The moment we will read Plato, you will feel like, सही कह रहा है, Plato is so right, this is how the world is, and then we start criticizing, then your heart breaks, then you, ये भी सही बात है, then we read Aristotle, then you will be like, हाँ ये सही है, then we criticize Aristotle. So this chain of making and breaking of your heart will go on for 30-35 times, and after that you will earn immunity. After that nobody will be able to break your heart ever. A person, event, philosopher, you will become immune. That iron shield you will get. And the moment you get that immunity, people say you have become matured. Simple. So simply philosophy यही है और कुछ नहीं है. Understood? How do we have to read? Before I tell you how do you have to read, just understand there are many people who come to give this exam. How many? 7-8 lakhs. Everyone is preparing and everyone thinks they are special and everyone thinks that they are destined to be officer. Everyone thinks. But when they enter with high hopes, essay, but then they start getting distracted. Distracted why? Because distraction is the norm. You will find 10 people here. You will find 10 raised to the power 10 notes. So many notes, so many this, so many that, so many, you know. The day you will enter, you go to chai wala, he will say, ये नहीं पढ़ा, योजना नहीं पढ़ी, 4 क्वेश्चन तो योजना से ही आए थे, 4 questions were asked from योजना only. Then you meet a friend, he said, X के notes नहीं पढ़े, you buy X notes. Then you go to your room, your roommate says, Y के notes नहीं पढ़े. Then you make some friends, then they will tell you A के notes नहीं पढ़े, B के. तो कुल मिला के you would not have read any notes. At the end you will have hundreds of notes in your cupboard, in your phone, in your tablets, but you will not have written, learned, assimilated, understood anything. At the end when you will give exam, you will feel like पढ़ा तो है ही नहीं, तो है ही नहीं. I haven't revised, I haven't learned, I haven't practiced my answers, I haven't practiced MCQs enough. The underconfidence will be there, and then the blame game will start. I could not study because of my roommate. I could not study because I fell into the love with girl or a boy. I could not study because of parents. I could not study because of this and that, and you know, you can blame anyone. You will blame everyone. But problem was where? If you feel you can be officers, then start behaving like officers. Will you like an officer who is that confused? No? Supposedly there are 2 officers, A and B. Officer A, anyone and everyone who goes to his office or her office, they start taking suggestions, they start, you know, एक ने कहा dam बना दो. You know, one person comes and says, you know, let's build dam. You start working for dam. Immediately the other person says, oh, you are not working for education. You leave the dam half, you walk for education. You were just about to buy books. Somebody says, books are important only for the people who can have health. You come back, not buying the books. You come back and start working on health. But somebody said that before you can work on health, sanitation is important. It's preventive. Then you start working on sanitation. ऐसा officer चाहिए? नहीं? And if this B person, he researches or she researches, evaluates, and then zero down to 1, 2, 3 or whatever, 4, 5 things, and then start working in a prioritized manner. Isn't this officer better? Simple? That officer mindset has to come in your preparation also. Simple. If you don't behave like officers, it's very difficult to become officer. So, when you have become my student, first thing is behave like officers. No confusions. Whatever you want to choose, nobody can teach you anything extraordinary. कोई मार्स से तो ले नहीं आएगा. Whatever you are reading, choose one, two source and read, learn and focus. Simple. Understood? This applies to all the subjects and everywhere. For philosophy specifically, currently you do not need to buy any books. No books required. Whenever you will go to the bookshop, your hands will itch. The money in your wallet would try to fly. You would want to buy C.D. Sharma, buy Masihi, Tathastu Chatterjee, O.P. Gaba. You will want to buy. There is no harm in buying, but buy when it is required. First, even if you buy, then make a commitment that you will read. Don't buy and keep. Simple. If you buy and you keep it in your shelf, then it's of no use. Simple. So whatever notes you will buy, you will read. Currently you don't have to buy. I will tell you, there are certain books which are not the standard books, because there is no specific books for philosophy optional. What we will give you? We will give you Indian philosophy booklet, Western philosophy, contemporary philosophy, this is paper 1, then socio-political and philosophy of religion, plus PYQs booklet, which is very important, and terminology. These are the booklets we will provide, and we have tried to make them so bulky and researched, so that you don't have time and motivation left to look here and there. But actually these books are also for your greed. If you want to look at some alternative additional points, you can refer to these books. And we have tried to inculcate everything from here, there. When you go on Wikipedia, you have that Stanford website. Some philosophers have written there. You know, few websites are there. We have tried to put information from wherever we could find useful. Fine. Okay. So this is the booklets that you will get. Apart from that, you will also get class notes. Class notes are very precise, and they are the key. You learn them, and you learn them, and then you write. Simple formula. What you will do? You will buy one register, and in that register you will write the questions of Western philosophy, PYQs. One page, leave one page, then on next page, like this, all PYQs. So you start with Plato, and all the PYQs should be written by you in that booklet, because after you go back, people who are not doing their GS classes, who have either finished or who haven't started, they will go back and write one answer or two answers per day. And we also need your blessings. Oh, that is of course. Blessing, डांट सब मिलेगा, कोई problem नहीं है उसकी तो. हाँ, embarrass, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. I do not escape from insulting you people till the time it can get you to the right path and get you selected, of course. Otherwise, I am a very polite person. है ना? Definitely. Okay. So that notebook will help you write answers, because it's very difficult to write answers. अगर question भी लिखना पड़े तो motivation नहीं आता. To get that necessary motivation, make this booklet today itself. At least for Plato. For Plato, today go back. You have got your books? You people have got your books, right? So make the booklet for Plato today. Then what will be the formula of studying? I will teach. You can answer questions whenever, wherever at the end of the class. We will resolve all queries which are required to be answered for examination. Then you will go back and revise. When I say revise, I mean read 2 to 3 times. No other way of revising. You just go, you read the class notes 2 or 3 times and it will get imprinted. No worries. Simple terms. But problem is you feel like कि नहीं हम तो रट्टा मारेंगे. We will learn it. Learning is fine, but learning will take time. And if it starts taking time, you will not do it after 2, 3, 4 philosophers. You will start saying, I have this class, I have that class, I have this exam, that exam, I have, n number of excuses you will have. So, to avoid that, you will read, but you will definitely read. Then after 1 week on Saturday, Sunday, we give you break, you will again read the same philosophers 2 to 3 times. After that, in the next class itself, you will write one answer which I will give you in the class itself. I don't trust you people that you will go back and write. So that is why I make you write here only. You will write, and in the weekend you will write at least 5 questions and answers. This is how it will be, and this revision schedule you will continue. Fine. And because you people have taken oath, remember, the one who doesn't fulfill the oath, चढ़ाई में, हाँ, जो एथिस्ट है वो भी ये मान के चले. Okay, ma'am, please repeat the strategy to revise daily class. Repeat मतलब when you go back after lecture, you revise. Revise means you read the same notes 2, 3 times. And how do you read notes? First reading should be very fast, then stop, go have tea, come back, then read slow, understanding the various headings, subparts, examples, illustrations wherever necessary. Then go chat with your friend, come back, then read the 3rd time, and this time at a normal speed. बस finish. ज़्यादा मेहनत करनी नहीं. I do not believe in too much hard work. As Warren Buffett said, that I want to find the laziest person. I think Warren Buffett said, I think. I'm not sure. He said, Bill Gates said. Oh, Bill Gates said, sorry. Someone rich. Someone rich and successful said that I want to find the laziest person to do the job, because that person will find the easiest way. And I have always been lazy, and I believe my students are also equally lazy. So we will find the easiest way to do it, of course. Fine? Okay. Any questions, anything you want to ask? Ask. Acha, online people, sorry, before you start. Online people, I want to tell you, students, you have adopted for online mode. It is good, it saves time, but there are certain things that you need to keep in mind. Number 1, online mode, if you do not interact through the messages, it is no good, no better mode than recorded classes. It becomes recorded classes if you do not interact. If you do not write and share your answers, it is nothing more than a simple recorded classes. Fine, so you must interact first. Second, if you miss 1 day's class, what happens? 2.5 hours of class gets piled up. Supposedly next day you are not able to watch, then 5 hours. This means third day bhi class to hogi na. Third day also you will have class. Then it will become, you will not be able to watch 7.5 hours video classes, and it will become painful. So be very consistent in your classes, and if you miss, then either leave the complete philosopher and do it later, or finish it on Saturday, Sunday, or do a marathon session and do that 7 hours or 7.5 hours of hard work. It's very necessary, but do not skip for 1 week. Or sometimes you say मेरी बहन की शादी है, मेरे यहाँ पे कीर्तन है, or anything that is happening, because if you miss classes they will pile up, and after some time the people lose motivation to watch classes, or rather to keep up with the schedule, and they start becoming rather complacent, because the kind of interaction we can have, the kind of doubt solving you can have in class, that is not possible through recorded mode. Simple. And it's better you resolve your classes, any doubts in the class itself. Of course, there is a Telegram group, you people have been added. There is a Telegram group, you people will be added soon, and in that group notes will be, and class schedule etc. will be shared. I am also in the group anonymously, and I keep watching your messages, and whatever I find relevant, I ask my team to do that thing for you. So you people can write anything and everything, whatever you want on that group. Done? Yes, ask your schedule, your doubts. Philosophy की definition. What is philosophy? Philosophy is the mother of all sciences, which defines the worldview of a person. Choices, behavior, understanding, and existence of a person. This is the true. अभी पढ़ाया कहाँ है? अच्छा. Not society, not just society. The world. Example. Is this world made up of atoms? Is this world made up of atoms? अब जो पुराने बच्चे हैं वो बोल नहीं रहे हैं. पता है क्यों नहीं बोल रहे? नहीं. हाँ? अब ये शंकराचार्य पढ़ चुके हैं. And for your understanding, I'll tell you, when you read quantum physicists, and when you read Einstein, you will reach to a conclusion that atom is nothing more than yes. अभी हमने reveal करेंगे, है ना? This is a mystery that will reveal through course, right? So this is the understanding. So your understanding defines your worldview. We will be reading the worldview of this 35-40 people. Fine? Clear? And each view is relevant, of course, to their times, and somebody has criticized them, means there was some problem, and definitely the other person who came was also criticized later on, therefore there is also a problem. No view has been perfect, because had there been a view which is perfect, we would have learnt about that view. Why is Big Bang known as Big Bang theory? Because it is just a theory, it's not a science. If you go to a scientist and ask them, okay, tell me why Big Bang happened? Why? Ma'am, is class not insufficient to get 100 marks? Is sufficient class notes to get 100 plus? Sayed, class can make you achieve 300 marks only if you revise, learn and write. Yes. because howsoever good a lecture you watch or you see or you hear, it's still a lecture. आपकी जगह जाके मैं आंसर्स तो नहीं लिख सकती. Can I go and write answers for you? You will have to write. This means whose speed matters? Yours. Whose articulation matters? Yours. Whose conceptual clarity matters? Yours. I can tell you it's important to develop speed, but can I develop it for you? This means when a person, any topper or anyone who gets 300 plus, they get it on their own effort, own excellence. Definitely teacher has a part to motivate, to tell them, to teach them the conceptual clarity, to teach them the content, but teacher doesn't give you 300 marks. They can make you deserving of that, but deserve aapko hi, you will only have to deserve it. Simple. If anybody thinks that just by joining classes, any class for that matter, you will get selected or you will get 300 plus, absolutely, that's not the case. Work hard will be necessary. Ma'am, we will be writing some essays also in our classes. Essay? Essays? Beta, this is a philosophy class. Though I have asked few of my earlier students to write it. ये खबर पहुंची है क्या कहीं से? Okay. No, we won't be writing essays. हाँ? किसी ने तो बोला कि मैम हमारे मैसेजेस नहीं देख सकती. नंदी मैं देख सकती हूँ. ओके, चलो हाँ और बताओ. Whatever doubt, yes. Philosophy से start करते हैं. We will have to start somewhere, either Indian philosophy or Western philosophy. No, it's not timeline based. It's not timeline. Western philosophy is a different philosophy altogether, and Indian one is completely altogether different. No merging in between. It's not history. It's not history. Okay. What else? पूछो. Not society. Worldview. Yes. Now you have to understand. Until and unless someone criticizes, how will they give their own? पहले बताना पड़ेगा ना यार, कमी है आपके इसमें. Supposedly someone proposes that let's build this building like this. If you want to propose your model, you will have to tell the lacunas of the earlier model, no? Ma'am, how do our written answers be checked by you? Yes, a very good answer. For offline people, I check it in the class. There are two modes. One, I myself check. Second, my team checks. And third, you check each other's answers to get the insight about your friends' lacunas. To learn from each other, peer learning. And for online people, you people send the answers to the team on Telegram group also. You send it here also. So here also there is an option. We download it and we put it on screen and check it. And what do you think about Swami Vivekananda's Raj Yoga? Firstly, Aman, Vivekananda sir is not in our course. Second, this is not the interview going on. You are not the interviewer and I am not the interviewee. Yes, class notes are sufficient, Syed. Absolutely sufficient. मतलब ऐसे थोड़े ना philosophy से related questions पूछो. तैयारी से रिलेटेड पूछो. Anything? No, Socrates is not in our syllabus. I'll show you the syllabus. देखो ये सब भी है कि what is philosophy? It's a logical, rational, universal, critical and a comprehensive science. Comprehensive because it covers everything. It is critical because we focus on criticizing anyone and everyone's worldview till the time we have our own worldview. It's universal. Everybody does philosophy. Everyone. Whoever can think has a philosophy. Rational or reasoned, philosophy must have some reason. You believe in something, you must have some reasons to it. And logical, definitely logical. This is darshan or rather evolution theory. If you believe in evolution, that Darwin is true, that you have just evolved out of species, then you have a different worldview. Then you understand things differently. But if you believe that God has created, there is a creator, operator and destroyer, then it's a different. How many of you know full form of God? Nahi pata. Full form of God is generator. Generator means someone who has created the world. Operator means who is operating the world. And destroyers means someone who can destroy the world. God की full form है generator, operator, destroyer. मैं आपको syllabus दिखाती हूँ. हाँ, ये दे देंगे हम आपको, है ना? We will send it on the group. Read it if you want. और rather एक काम करते हैं, पहले मैं आपको ये बता देती हूँ. Philosophy's one branch is, second is, then is ethics, logic and aesthetics. What is epistemology? Epistemology is science of knowledge. Science of knowledge in the sense, how do you know something? How? How do you know something? बताओ, question है ये. Old students will not answer. Through observation. Observation means through eyes, perception, through sense organs, through experience. What else? अच्छा, existing beliefs. Okay. Reason. Okay. Okay. So basically, in Western philosophy, there are only two ways in which they have accepted the sources of knowledge. One way of knowing things is experience. Experience means through sense organs. You can look at something, hear something, taste something, touch something. Through this you know the world. How do you know there is a table here? You can see it. How do you know you are sitting on a chair? You can touch it. You have that touch sensation. How do you hear that I am talking? You can hear. So this means all your knowledge is basically coming from sense organs, and that sense organ means experience. Fine. Apart from experience, how do you know things? If you do not experience, can you know things? Others' experience will also have to be told, na? That will become your experience. Reason. You start to reason that this is this, this is that, this is this. You start deducing or inducing and thus leading to a conclusion. We will see what is reason. Through reason, you know that thing is known as one way of knowing. So one way of knowing is experience, another way of knowing is reason. जैसे if I tell you there is a hailstorm outside, is it true or false? False. Why? It's not the season for it. How do you know? How do you know? How did you reach this conclusion? You said दिल्ली तो वहाँ नहीं है. The climate or weather of Delhi is something this which cannot have hailstorms, which cannot have floods directly from the ocean. You know, through reason you are reaching this knowledge. You haven't observed, you haven't gone outside and seen. You have just reasoned in your mind, and through that you have said true or false. This is the ability of reason. So according to Western philosophy, there are two ways of knowing this world, or rather two sources of knowledge: experience and reason. Now, apart from sources, which source is valid, experience or reason? Which source is more valid? Supposedly, you see a girl exactly looking like your friend, or a boy exactly looking like your friend, sitting with someone else, from your own eyes. What will you do? So the people who said that they will believe their eyes, they are experience based, they are empiricists. And the people who will say look alike bhi to ho sakta hai. There can be a person who is look alike, so we will have to reason a little more. They are rationalists. So in Western philosophy, there are two kinds of people: empiricists and rationalists. This is how epistemology is. You understand what is epistemology now? In Hindi, it is known as Gyan Mimamsa. Gyan Mimamsa means how do you get the knowledge of? How do you get the knowledge? This is the means. About what? Knowledge about what? That is metaphysics. And he talks about world, soul, God, fundamental element, all of these becomes metaphysics. If I ask you, what do you think world is made up of? What is the fundamental element, smallest element? Atom. Batao. Break the atom. Electron, proton. Break the electron, protons. Positrons, neutrons, neutrinos. ठीक है? Break them further. Leptons. Break them further. Quarks and then leptons. And are the leptons unbreakable? Breakable. You understand? Even the science is not sure what is the fundamental element of world. But all the philosophers and scientists are after this fundamental element. The Higgs boson, such a big thing that happened. People became so happy. Why? They felt that they have found a very small particle, which is known as Higgs boson. It was termed as God particle, of course, also. But is it the fundamentalist? That is not also the basic. Now, different philosophers have taken up different fundamental elements. Someone will say, Plato will say, fundamental element is ideas. Everything is made up of. Aristotle will say, oh, no, Everything is made up of form and matter. Every philosopher will have a different understanding of fundamental element. But whenever you talk about fundamental element, whenever you talk about soul, whenever you talk about matter, you are basically talking about metaphysics. We will try to know how can we know the world. Can we know the world through experience or through reason? Which one is the correct way? Till the time we are discussing the correct way, epistemology. When we are talking about what it is, metaphysics. Once we do the philosophy, you will understand. अभी ऐसा लग रहा होगा ना, such difficult terms, epistemology and metaphysics. Then they will become Sita Gita. So simple. Yeah? They are the basic terms, not very difficult. Spellings are. Then ethics. Whatever the philosopher has said about epistemology and metaphysics, that will define the ethics of that philosopher. We don't read it in philosophy, but ethics is basically about this. So if you know Plato here and here, you know what they will think. If you know Kierkegaard, you know what they will think. If you know Sartre, then you know what they will think. So this is basically paper 4, GS paper 4, ethics. Whatever we will read here, you can apply here. Answer writing we will learn here, you can apply here, though we don't read it. Then there is logic, that is CSAT, logical reasoning, but again we don't read it. This is not in our philosophy syllabus, not in our philosophy syllabus. Aesthetics is about beauty, golden ratio, etc. What makes a thing beautiful, attractive and desirable. This branch again we do not study. This is mainly studied in art, fine art and all. We don't read it. We read only metaphysics and epistemology. Very limited. Do we read all philosophers? Thousands and thousands of philosophers, but we read only very few. ये आप पढ़ लेना. Okay. चाहो तो देख लो. In epistemology, we study source of knowledge, nature of knowledge, limitation of knowledge and validity of knowledge, as well as relation. Basically, अभी आपको ये समझ आएगा नहीं. Till the time we take one philosopher and do it, only then you will basically understand what we are talking about. है ना? But for your, what you say, satisfaction, these are the basic definitions. But these definitions will be clear only when we apply it. This is the syllabus. First philosopher is Plato. Aristotle is Plato's disciple, and he will criticize Plato and give his own theory. After that will come a big thousands of years of gap between Western philosophy. These 1000 years are known as Dark Ages. उस समय पे कोई philosophy नहीं हुई, because philosophy requires logic and reason. During Dark Ages, West was having complete dominance of religion. Nothing, no reason or logic was allowed. And after Renaissance came, philosophy started with Descartes, who was criticized by Spinoza, who gave his own theory, who was criticized by Leibniz, who gave his own theory, and these three philosophers together are known as rationalists, because they believed in reason rather than experience, because according to them experience has its limitations. Like mirage, when you see a mirage, what is a mirage? When in a sandy area you see far away and you find jhilmil, 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 people think that it is water, but it is not water. It is only the reflection from the shiny surface of sand which appears as water, but it is only sand only. This is mirage. So can you say that whatever you see by our eyes is true? can be wrong also. If I dip in this water, if I dip this pen, is it straight or tilted? But it was straight. Pen felt tilted. Why? आँखों ने तो बोला था tilted है, निकला straight. Can you just say experience is completely true? No. This means reason. So the people who believed their reason, who made their philosophy on of reason are these three. We will see what they will say. आज सिर्फ इंट्रोडक्शन एंड ओरिएंटेशन है, कल से स्टार्ट करेंगे प्लेटो, है ना. तो 2-4 लोग ऐसे ऐसे इंतजार में बैठे हैं, अब प्लेटो स्टार्ट होगा. प्लेटो स्टार्ट होगा, प्लेटो कल स्टार्ट होगा. आज सिर्फ और सिर्फ अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट इट इज. ठीक है. देन सेकेंड इज empiricism. Those people who will say no, reason has its flaws. Experience is what that matters. Whatever I experience, only that thing is true. अगर कोई चीज ऐसी है जिसे मैं देख नहीं सकता, छू नहीं सकता, सुन नहीं सकता, मतलब वो है ही नहीं. If I tell you there is something which you cannot touch, see, speak, taste, hear, then बिल्कुल. देखो तुम खुद फिलोसोफर बन गए हो, पहली क्लास, अभी तो क्लास शुरू भी नहीं हुई. बिल्कुल. एम्पेरिसिस्ट्स विल से, आते आते तक ह्यूम कहेगा गॉड है ही नहीं, बिकॉज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस कैन यू जस्ट एक्सेप्ट गॉड? नो. फिर आएगा, नाउ कांट इज अ पर्सन which is very influential. When you will read Kant, half of you will become Kantian for life. Half of you will become Kantian for life. So Kant, he will rational or rather synthesize or balance empiricism and rationalism, and he will give you a process of understanding which is very unique and very interesting. Then comes Hegel. Hegel is a philosopher. This year also a quote of Hegel came in the essay, and nearly Hegel is applicable everywhere. In whatever things you know, do in life also, Hegel is one person who will be very helpful. Hegel के जीवन में आने के बाद आप कभी परेशान नहीं हो पाते, because everything becomes dialectic. What is dialectic? We will know. Then after this starts contemporary philosophy. With Hegel, classical philosophy, Western philosophy finishes. Then Moore, Russell and early Wittgenstein, these three people come, and these three people talk more about common sense. Contemporary philosophy is easiest, though people sometimes say that, you know, it's not very interesting, but I find it very interesting. And rather it is so easy, the moment you should see contemporary ka question in paper, you should become super excited, because direct question, direct marks. No, not too much required. It's like marks fetching, very marks fetching. Then logical positivism, later Wittgenstein. Now you might be wondering what is early Wittgenstein and later Wittgenstein. Same person. Earlier version, later version. When he was young and when he was old. When he was old, he criticized his younger self bitterly. He rejected everything, whatever early Wittgenstein has said. Same person. But they were so different in orientation that we treat them as two different philosophers. Then phenomenology, Husserl. It's basically meditation in English. Simple meditation that we do, yog, dhyan, that thing when written in English becomes phenomenology of Husserl. Then existentialism. all the self-help group books, videos, everything and anything that you have read, yes you can, or anything like that, whatever you have heard in self-help books, courses or whatever, everyone has taken something or the other from existentialism. सब सात्रे करके गार्ड को अपनी अपनी भाषा में ट्विस्ट टर्न करते हैं और आपको दे देते हैं. So these are the basics. If you know सात्रे, you will be motivated for life. Then Quine and Strawson. These are two people who are a little different from others, but yes, in continuation only. A little different, but in continuation. और इसके साथ Western philosophy खत्म. ठीक है? This is the complete syllabus, and if we want to draw a chart, it goes something like this. Plato, Aristotle, after Aristotle, rationalism, empiricism, and in empiricism there are three philosophers, in rationalism there are three philosophers, both are combined by Kant and Hegel. After Hegel, Moore, logical atomism, logical positivism, existentialism, Husserl and Quine, Strawson. ये बहुत बार बनेगा, कोई बात नहीं, चिंता मत करो, ये बहुत बार बनेगा, है ना? ये खुद ही बनाओगे तुम 10 बार, ऐसा कुछ खास नहीं है. Ma'am, why we directly got the PDF of Wittgenstein? Why did you get it? I don't know, I will ask the team. But Wittgenstein, why? गलती से आ गया होगा. Ma'am, do we have Pongal holidays? When is Pongal? 14th, 14, 15. Makar Sankranti on the same day. Arey, I am asking, bhai. 14th and 15th. Is it Saturday, Sunday? Sunday and Monday. I will ask. Actually, I don't have any holidays. I will ask the team if there is a holiday. And if they have a holiday, then you will get it too. है ना? It depends. I will ask. अगर मैं नहीं आऊँगी तो आप नहीं आएंगे. Okay. Anything else? Anything else related to the preparation? पूछो. 1 month, few days. मतलब Feb end. We can take Feb end because actually in February I have some events also. Yes, I remember. January end I have some events. There is an event I have to go, like IIT Kanpur, etc. There are few events lined up. So because of that, I will give you 1 or 2 day break in between. Apart from that, it will be a continuous thing. Prelims, पढ़ो prelims के लिए, यही 2 घंटे में पढ़ना है. People who are preparing for 2024, haven't I told you? You were missing that class. That I have already told them. People who are giving 2024 should just watch classes, should attend classes, and after that, just make your notes. Nothing else. Don't do anything else. Start and completely devote yourself to prelims. I ask for only this 2-3 hours. उसके बाद जो prelims के लिए prepare कर रहे हैं वो कुछ भी नहीं करोगे तो चलेगा. if at most you can do, just go and read the notes once, that's sufficient. But people who are not giving this 2024 or either have prepared their GS well, they should listen to the lecture, write answers also, revise also, and do all the things that are required. Okay? And after this, do not meander for notes here and there. जिसके notes चाहिए, जितने चाहिए, जितने भी ज़्यादा चाहिए, we have everything. Just go and ask the team. I have told them, whoever wants notes, give them. We have 100 pages, 500 pages, 1000 pages, 10,000 pages. But truth is, the more notes you have, the less chances of your selection. The less notes you have, more chances of your selection. इसीलिए just focus on class notes, and wherever required, I will tell you the books. If you want to excel, then read the books. But point is, do not read books or go to books before learning your notes, before completely understanding your notes. Fine? Strategy clear? Any other doubt? No problem. You can start, you don't need any background for philosophy actually. Achha, anyone from philosophy? Oh, people who have the background in philosophy, very difficult for you. Philosophy is going to be a difficult optional for you, because problem is, the pattern of UPSC is very different, and if you have earlier knowledge, you will always have that barrier. ऐसे होता है, and that is very difficult to break. If you do not have any background in philosophy, that's the best. Best. Philosophy के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता, नाम भी पहली बार सुना है. Best. Most chances of you getting good marks. You can be the topper. Truthfully, the more you know in philosophy, the deeper you know. वहाँ पे से गड़बड़, because how much words you have to write, how many words you have to write? Only 152, 200. For that, too much knowledge is detrimental. Ma'am, you have read, ma'am, I have read psychology. Psychology is fine. Till the time you haven't read philosophy, that's fine. But even if you have read philosophy, don't worry. Just try not to have the barriers on. Fine. Tomorrow, we will start with Plato. Plato notes we will get on your LMS. And booklets, have you taken booklets? Take the booklets for feel good factor. वही मिलेगा. Get selected and then do it. If you are not too emotional about it, then you can do it. People become emotional with their post graduation, no? So then you can do it. Yes. Someone else was asking, right? Yes. हाँ बिल्कुल, अरे बिल्कुल बना सकते हैं, लेकिन क्या करने के बाद? क्लास नोट्स पढ़ने के बाद. देखो, ऑफ कोर्स your self-made notes are the best, है ना? But problem is, I'll tell you what happens. You will want to be perfect. How many of you are perfectionists? That doesn't work with UPSC. because the moment you will say I will make notes after reading class notes, printed booklets, mawai-masi, and also I will see XYZ notes, and then I will make a very perfect good notes of my own. But the time required for this full activity is too much. Cost benefit analysis doesn't match. Fine. So what do? You do it in phased manner. First read the notes, learn it, or rather at least understand it properly. Then you take one notes, maybe printed notes. You include that in your notes, make a notes. Then whenever next time you get time, you take the Vaimasi, include it in your notes. In this manner, you will have 2-3 revisions, and each time the time devoted will be less. So you will be able to complete. I have seen people. I'll share a few examples with you to make you understand from the mistakes of others. One of the candidate, or rather one of my friend, initially when we were preparing, we have started calling him philosopher, and the reason was that he went too much deep into philosophy. He made this 50 pages or some 70-80 pages notes of Buddhism, such big notes, and he researched. He said no, this Vaimasi is nothing. He read Stanford ka pata nahi kya or everything. He made good notes, and he definitely knew more than us, any one of us, but he didn't get selected. So your ultimate aim should be clear. Our aim is to know only that much which is required for us to write good, excellent, perfect, nice answers. And there is no perfect answer, but good answers, the one which gives us marks. Simple. Fine. थर्ड में मैंने अपना फिलॉसफी ऑप्शनल चेंज किया था. पहले में मेरा पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन और संस्कृत था. हाँ, उस समय 2 थे ना, तो संस्कृत और पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. कोर्स नोट, यही सब नोट्स नहीं चेंज हुए फिलॉसफी में. तो बुक्स, वाईएमसी एंड नोट्स, जितनी मार्केट के नोट्स हैं, मैं कहाँ से पढ़ूंगी? मैंने कोई वो थोड़े ना, मैंने पीएचडी. सेम राइटिंग्स कैसे करनी है, मतलब आंसर राइटिंग, दैट आई विल टीच. ऑफ कोर्स दैट आई विल टीच. मैम व्हाट इज YMSC? Okay, so there is a book with the name YMSC. You don't have to buy it. Ma'am, how can I become like you? What inspired you to leave civil services? Oh, that's a personal question. Ma'am, when we will complete our Western full? Till February. है ना? February end. Okay? Done? Anything else? चलो कल मिलते हैं फिर. Let's meet tomorrow. Bye bye.